The moon has always been a symbol of mystery, but what scientists just found is cranking that mystery up a notch. Something is moving up there, something no one expected. For years, the moon's surface was believed to be frozen and lifeless, but now, cameras and sensors are picking up bizarre activity that scientists still can't fully make sense of. Is it something natural? Is it something built? Or maybe something way stranger? Well, stay tuned till the end to find out. Let's begin with number 15. The moon's darkest secrets. The moon's been pelted by massive and miniature asteroids for billions of years. That's why it looks like it's been scooped out with a cosmic ice cream spoon. Over 1 million craters on its surface stretch wider than half a mile, but nothing compares to the ones in the South Pole. Aitken Basin. If that name throws you off, here's the breakdown. The basin is one enormous crater packed with tons of smaller ones inside. It's like a crater version of Russian nesting dolls. What makes this area stand out isn't just the size, it's the age and the shadows. These are some of the oldest craters on the moon, time capsules from the early solar system. And because of the moon's angle, sunlight hits this area from an extremely low angle, barely skimming the surface. Some parts of these craters get only a sliver of light. Others haven't seen sunlight in billions of years. Permanent shadow, no sunlight ever. That's what makes them so important. They're like space freezers, unopened, untouched, and maybe hiding something huge. Number 14. The moon's South Pole. Take a closer look at this image of the moon. Now focus on that faint dotted circle. Whatever's hiding inside it has astronomers seriously confused. It's not some glitch or an ordinary rock. It's something truly odd, buried in one of the most mysterious zones on the moon, the South Pole. Even though the moon is practically next door, its South Pole is still one of the least explored spots in our entire solar system. It's bitterly cold, pitch dark, and some areas never get sunlight. And for years, scientists have been desperate to figure out what's going on down there. That's why in 2011, NASA kicked off a mission named GRAIL, short for Gravity Recovery and Interior Laboratory. They launched 2 spacecraft with a single mission to measure lunar gravity in extreme detail. Why gravity? Because it's like a cheat code for detecting what's hidden underground. Denser stuff like uranium or gold pulls harder on gravity than lighter elements. And down in that dotted circle, something is tugging harder than expected, something nobody can identify. Number 13. Shadow craters are hiding water. Here's a twist. Those frozen pitch-black craters at the moon's South Pole, they're not just cold and creepy, they're hiding water. And that changes everything. For billions of years, the moon's been hammered by endless waves of asteroids. Think of it as a never-ending cosmic dodgeball match. Now the interesting part? A lot of those asteroids carry water. Around 20% of an asteroid's mass is made up of water, mostly in the form of ice. Since space is already freezing, about -270 degrees Celsius, some of that water survives impact, but not much. Most gets vaporized on collision, turning into a compound called hydroxyl. Some of it sticks to the surface or seeps into the soil. But without a real atmosphere, the moon can't hold onto water for long. Sunlight makes it vanish. Poof! Scientists found that 97% of asteroid-delivered water gets lost. But a tiny bit escapes, floating into permanently shadowed craters where sunlight never touches. These cold traps lock in moisture, and inside them, real frozen water molecules untouched for billions of years. Number 12. The South Pole Basin. Back in 2019, a team from Baylor University in Texas found something wild and wonderful while combing through data from NASA's GRAIL mission. They weren't expecting much, just typical moon readings. But then they spotted a massive, strange anomaly distorting gravity deep within the South Pole Aitken Basin, which is one of the moon's most baffling regions. This isn't just any crater, it's the crater about 1,600 miles wide and over 5 miles deep. You could drop Mount Everest in there and still have space left over. Scientists already knew this basin existed. It was formed billions of years ago by a city-sized asteroid smashing into the moon. But what the Baylor team uncovered was new. Deep beneath the basin lies a gigantic chunk of solid metal. At first it didn't seem strange, but the mass is so large it's literally distorting gravity in the area. It's like hiding a dumbbell under your mattress. You'd feel the tilt. This metal slab is 5 times the size of Hawaii's Big Island, and nobody knows how it got there. What do you think about it? Number 11. NASA found water. NASA crashed a spacecraft into the moon and ended up discovering water. Back in 2009, they aimed a small probe at the dark, icy crater called Cabeus, right near the moon's south pole. And they didn't just land it, they slammed it on purpose. The idea was simple: smash into the surface and see what gets thrown into space. And it worked. When the debris shot up, scientists studied what came out, and there it was: water. About 5% of what got kicked up was that proved that those shadowed, freezing craters are really hiding frozen water beneath the surface. No one's landed a rover or astronaut in one of these craters yet. They're hard to reach. But that's changing fast. NASA's Artemis 3 mission is on track for launch by 2027, and for the first time since Apollo 17 in 1972, humans will walk on the moon again. But this time, they're going deeper into the shadows. If there's water, they'll find it, and maybe something else is buried in the cold. Number 10, there sits life. Before you get too excited about moon water and start ripping your shirt off over the hype, there's some disappointing news. That old phrase, "where there's water, there's life," sounds comforting, but it's not entirely accurate. Honestly, it's about as reliable as letting a hamster do your bookkeeping. Sure, all life we know needs water to survive. Even those microscopic survivors known as tardigrades or water bears can live through boiling, freezing, and even space. But even they need moisture. Without it, they shut down, freeze up, and enter a zombie-like state. Unless rehydrated, they're stuck in limbo. The truth is, just because water exists doesn't mean life does too. Earth has plenty of extreme environments where water exists, but no life shows up. Acidic pits, scalding vents, even sterilized lab water. And the moon? Way worse. No atmosphere. Temperature swings from 121 degrees Celsius in the day to 130 degrees Celsius at night. And inside those shadowy craters, it drops to 240 degrees Celsius. At brutal cosmic radiation, and survival chances vanish. So yes, there's water, but don't count on anything being alive in it. Number 9. Why everyone wants the South Pole. So what makes the moon's South Pole such a big deal? Why is every space-capable nation racing to grab it? Well, it is quite simple, because it is the only place on the moon where we can realistically build a self-sustaining base using today's tech. And it all comes down to 2 key resources: water and sunlight. First, the water. Massive amounts of ice are trapped deep inside the moon's permanently shadowed craters, especially near the South Pole. We're not talking frozen puddles. Scientists believe there could be billions of tons of ice. That water isn't just for drinking. Using electrolysis, it can be turned into oxygen to breathe and hydrogen to fuel rockets. Now sunlight. Near the rim of Shackleton Crater, NASA identified high peaks known as the Peaks of Eternal Light. These spots receive sunlight 90% of the time, making them ideal for solar power. And they sit right next to the icy craters. So in one area, you've got power and water, everything needed to survive without Earth's help. That's why everyone wants it. Number 8. A tiny green miracle. Back in January of 2019, mission scientists revealed something remarkable. A cotton seed had sprouted inside a sealed container on the moon. A photo showed a small green shoot pushing upward in lunar gravity, the first plant to ever grow on another world. It wasn't just symbolic, it gave us our first real glimpse at what future space farming might look like. Sadly, the little sprout didn't last long. Just 2 weeks after landing, the harsh lunar night arrived. Temperatures inside the container dropped to 62 degrees Celsius and the heater shut down. Without warmth or light, the plant died. But even that short success proved something big. Life can begin to grow out there. The experiment didn't end with cotton. Scientists also included potato seeds, yeast, and fruit fly eggs in hopes of creating a miniature ecosystem. None survived long enough to thrive, but the experiment still marked a huge milestone in astrobiology. If we're serious about living on the moon, growing food there will be essential, and this was the first real step. Number 7. The new space race. No aliens on the moon. But something else is heating up fast. The new space race is officially underway. Let's be very clear. The odds of finding life on the moon are basically zero. If anything is up there, it probably hitched a ride on an asteroid or floating junk and is now slowly dying on a barren rock, less welcoming than the bathroom on a budget airline. Still, even without alien life, humans are more eager than ever to return. NASA's Artemis 3, aiming for liftoff in 2027, isn't just about science or nostalgia. There's a bigger motive, and it's starting to sound like a sci-fi thriller. This isn't just another flag-waving moment, it's the start of a new space race. But this time, the rival isn't Russia, it's China. NASA's administrator, Bill Nelson, didn't sugarcoat it. He flat out said, "It's a fact. We're in a space race." And he wasn't joking. China's moves have made it very real. Both nations are now eyeing the moon's south pole like it's gold. Number 6. Moon chess. The next geopolitical standoff could unfold on the moon with space helmets instead of warships. Things could get tense real fast. Why? Well, because what's brewing up there is starting to look like the South China Sea situation, just without water. China's been busy. Their Chang missions have already placed robotic landers on the surface, but they're just getting started. In 2026, China plans to launch Chang 7, which is basically a high-tech lander capable of hopping into deep shadowed craters near the South Pole. It'll drill into the ice and run tests to see if setting up a base there is doable. If things look promising, China, teaming up with Russia, wants to build a permanent lunar outpost by 2030. The issue? The US wants the exact same zone with its Artemis program. Both countries have locked onto the moon's South Pole because of one thing: water. The UN's 1967 Outer Space Treaty says no one can own the moon. But if someone sets up shop first, good luck getting them to leave. Number 5. The moon SEP's sticky surprise. Not every moon discovery turns out how you'd expect. Back in mid-2019, operators of the Yutu-2 rover noticed something unusual inside a tiny crater. This shiny, textured patch looked completely different from the surrounding gray soil. The internet lost its mind. Was it some kind of goo, molten glass, melted metal, or something even stranger? Well, China didn't release any images at first, which only added more fuel to the chaos. When the photos were finally published, the mysterious gel turned out to be a dark, glistening substance tucked between rock and dust. Scientists analyzed its spectrum, basically the light bouncing off it, and found it was breccia, a fused mixture of lunar soil and rock formed by a violent meteorite crash. Basically, the intense heat melted pieces of rock and soil into a single glossy lump, likely filled with minerals like olivine and pyroxene. Not alien slime, but still impressive. What made this find even cooler? It was located in a brand new region, offering fresh evidence of the moon's violent past. Number 4. Speculation and a mystery hut. When China's lunar mission made headlines, the global science community lit up with buzz. Many Western scientists praised China's capabilities and drive to collect lunar data. Even though US law bars NASA from direct cooperation with China, there were quiet exchanges of information. NASA even publicly congratulated the Chinese team. Researchers were curious about what Chang'e 4's geological studies might reveal, and whether indirect collaboration might happen someday. Landing on the moon's far side was a huge milestone. It opened a completely new frontier. Speculation quickly followed. Could China find valuable materials? Could they build telescopes shielded from Earth's radio noise? But with secrecy came rumors. Since China kept some mission data under wraps, tabloids and forums went wild, claiming discoveries of alien artifacts, underground bases, or other strange stuff. Then in 2021, the Yutu-2 rover spotted a cube-shaped object on the horizon. People dubbed it the Mystery Hut. Social media exploded with theories. But as the rover got closer, it turned out to be just a weirdly shaped boulder. Number 3. Lunar ice. Even though recent missions haven't touched down right at the poles, their discoveries are pushing things closer to one goal: finding and using lunar ice. Several missions like NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter and India's Chandrayaan-1 confirmed water in permanently shadowed craters, especially around the poles. And that's huge. Water means survival. It can hydrate astronauts or be broken into hydrogen and oxygen for rocket fuel. China has taken note. Their upcoming landers are targeting the poles specifically to study these ice deposits. Interestingly, findings from China's Chang'e 5 mission also revealed water locked inside soil at mid-latitudes, likely planted there by solar wind. So the moon might have more water than we thought. With sunlight for energy and water for life support, setting up a base feels more realistic than ever. China's aiming to build an international lunar research station by the 2030s, most likely near the South Pole, and possibly in collaboration with other countries. Number 2. China sits moon missions. Alien theories are fun, but China's lunar plans are far more grounded and calculated. Their space program has well-known military ties, which raises suspicions about hidden agendas, especially regarding the moon's far side. Some believe a base there could be used not just for research, but for monitoring Earth or hiding strategic tech. Since that side never faces Earth, it's perfect for staying out of sight. Still, there's no proof Chang'e 4 carried anything secret. Its payload was public and included instruments from Europe, like Sweden's neutron detector and Germany's radiation experiment. But with China ramping up its presence and other nations returning to the moon, the space race talk is getting louder. The biggest takeaway? A lunar base is absolutely possible, and the far side offers unique benefits. It's quiet, perfect for space telescopes, and ideal for setting up permanent research stations. China is even planning to 3D print buildings using lunar soil. If they succeed, the moon could become the Persian Gulf of space. Number 1. Why the moon is more than just a rock. So we know the moon has sunlight and water. But here's the real question. Why are the US and China rushing to build permanent outposts there? The short answer: money. Shocking, right? The South Pole Aitken Basin isn't just a cool place to camp. It might be the start of a trillion-dollar space economy. Why? One rare, valuable element, helium-3. This stuff is hyped as the perfect fuel for future fusion energy. And fusion? It's that long-promised tech that could revolutionize power forever if we ever make it work. Helium-3 is incredibly rare on Earth. But the moon, thanks to billions of years of solar wind, its dusty surface called regolith is full of it. How valuable is it? 1 ton of helium-3 could power entire countries. 1 gram? Worth about $1,500. Add it up, and scientists estimate the moon might be sitting on $4 trillion worth. So sure, exploration matters, but it's not just about science anymore. This is a race for the next great resource rush, and it's already started. If you've enjoyed watching this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for joining us on this journey, and we'll see you soon in the next one.